Got baptized by a streetcar. Me, you know what I mean? I don't even know if he actually has a car that's going to lay rubber down, and I don't know what lane Perry's in, so
welcome to the shit show.
Alright, so we're out here at Pacemakers Dragway today, one of our favorite local tracks here in Mount Vernon, Ohio. Been racing here since I was 8 or 9 years old.
First one of the season.
Always good to come back here and do some no prep racing. First round, I'm second pair out. There was a call out first round, and one of Perry's friends called him out. I don't know if he's actually going to make a pass or not, so I'm kind of up in the air as to my tune-up, because if nobody makes a pass next to Perry or does a good burnout, I'm not going to have any rubber to take off on other than my burnout marks, so that changes my tune-up a lot. So kind of fucking me right there, but who you got?
So I got this green Dodge truck that we've seen a few times at Wilkesboro. I think he's from around that area. Usually runs big tire, but he's got smalls on today, and he's came all the way out here to play. So hopefully it'll be a good race.
If you come all this way, he ain't gonna take it easy on you.
No,
that's a long drive home.
Yeah. So it should be a really good race. I know it runs good. I mean, it's a big tire car on smalls, so if he can get it hooked up, he has the ability to run with me, I'm sure. But so it should be a good race. It'll be interesting. Since this is the first race out this season for Pacemakers, I mean, it's Pacemakers. We've seen it so many times. We've raced here so many times, but they've scraped it pretty good this time. I think after a few burnouts, it'll be all right. But it's definitely scraped.
We haven't raced here yet this season. I know the guy that I'm racing first round, he has made test pits here, I think last week. So he's got some good data for this track, you know, when it's bad. I'm just gonna try and wing it. I hope that somebody lays down a good burnout in my lane before, because if not, it may make the lanes pretty uneven if there's only one lane that gets a burnout first pair. I'll try to do my best burnout I can. I'll probably do a long one. Try to lay down as much rubber as straight as I can. Hopefully the truck does a nice straight burnout. We took all the weight out of the Falcon. I don't think it really needs it after testing at Norwalk. I feel like if the track is any type of decent in the first 60 feet, I don't think it needs it. So we're gonna test it and hopefully it goes down. If it doesn't, then we learn something. We're mainly getting ready for No Prep Kings next week, and this surface should be fairly similar as far as the starting line goes, so it should give us a good idea of what No Prep Kings should hold.
You brought your truck today.
I did.
You're racing in stick shift, right?
Yep, and give it a whirl. See if I can actually win first round versus what happened last weekend.
The thing looks majestic sitting there. It's in the weeds.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Put on the
front of my truck to look like a little bit.
There's no better looking Silverado than right there. That's the best ones.
So,
The only thing is, like, they rusted out so quick. Like, it's so hard to find when it's clean.
Yeah, I got lucky finding that. Really did.
Is that the original color? Is it white? Or
It was white, but I mean I painted it and shit like I told you.
You paint it yourself?
I helped do the bodywork and stuff. Yeah. So. But yeah.
But you built the truck mostly like you and your brother, like.
Yeah, mostly just me and him. On the floor with no lift too.
And honestly, he did.
Wonder what that's like.
Yep. Solely built by me. So it's cool to finally get to race it. Finally, I feel like it's somewhat enough competitive to actually race in a stick shift class versus just being a duck. I mean, it's not like it's super fast, but it's at least somewhat. I feel like it's somewhat competitive at least.
both made it through first round. I was second pair out. There was a little bit of water that came out of the truck from sitting out in the rain this week. My leaf spring blocks, my drop blocks, they get a little water in them sometimes when it rains, and you have to jack the truck up and let the rear end hang to get it out. So that was my mistake, but I don't think it caused me to spin. It was just on a little bit too much of a tune up there. It was pretty hot, so I drove it and I forced it down through there. It went pretty fast still.
It's definitely pretty sketchy today, you know, being the first race out this year at this track. It's pretty green. I mean, this track is known for having a really sketchy, you know, after 330 it's just slippery. But I had to let out at about 400 feet. Still made we actually had very similar 330 times.
The same ET to the 330.
Yeah, I just had to let out because it was getting a little out of shape, and I'm just trying to be safe. But this round, I think we're just going to leave it alone. I actually got the GTR this round, all-wheel drive GTR. So this should be really interesting. I've never raced a GTR before. I've never raced anything that's well, I have raced something that's all-wheel drive, but
I heard they're pretty fast.
I heard, but we shall see. We'll see. Who'd you draw?
Black Malibu.
So should be a good race.
Yeah, I got the black Malibu. I think it's a nitrous car. I'm not gonna take anybody lightly. I'm basically leaving the same tune-up in it I had for first round, just hoping that the tracks come around a little bit better, which it should have. We'll see. I'll force it down through there again if I have to.
badass race. Damn.
Drive-by, that's all. Love you, Mikey. Dude, he was out on me a car and a half, and about the time I got into the top of high gear, it was like,
Yeah, it looked good from down here.
I was at the finish line.
I cleared him.
I couldn't tell he was in front until the last half second.
I cleared him by like 2 cars, and he was out on me a car and a half. Sorry, Mikey.
This car's running good though.
This fucking 60 foot's hard. Like, I can't fuck with that thing in the 60 foot tonight. But, yeah, we're gonna have to turn this old girl up. If I get the GTR, I'll probably turn it up a little bit. If I get Hong, I'm just gonna throw everything in it.
GTR didn't.
Dude, mine didn't even move. It was just dead straight.
I think the track's finally getting good.
The track's good, and I feel like the transmission temp was a little hotter on that run, so the converter slippage was a little more, so it went down cleaner. So we'll try to get it cooled down.
What makes you think it was hot?
It slowed up like 1 mile an hour. But I did take like 2 pounds of dome pressure out of it because last round it slipped the tire at the finish line. But I was like, well, the weather got better, so I just figured it would compensate. CO2 thing is just fucking me. Like, it won't add enough dome pressure. It only went 131.
It's not gonna get it done. It's not gonna get it.
I think that air tank is just, it stays at like 40, and I'm commanding like 45, so it just won't add it. It won't get it faster. Steal the bottle bracket and the bottle out of that thing.
All right, you had an issue.
I did. So I made it through first round. I actually beat the guy. He had some problems, but I still beat him. I did beat him, so I did the second round actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right, beating him. But I drew a pretty cool Mercury Zephyr, is a pretty cool car. But I tuned the twist up a little bit just to get it the long term because it kind of balled a little bit in the first pass I made. It was gonna make a good pass, but it broke an axle, unfortunately. But it is 10 volt. I'll have it fixed, you know, a couple of days on the new deal. It's just really irritating. Like, if I would have beat that car, I would have been in the finals of Stick Shift. It's super cool to be in the finals. My second race racing, but you know, stuff happens, I guess. Still a 10 volt, but I'll put it back together racing again next weekend or whenever the hell. So.
It's fine. I just don't know if the ignition system can keep up.
What do you mean?
It popped, like it didn't fire, and then it fired all the fuel.
I saw the flame come out the driver's side bank as it went through the finish line.
Yeah, it did that at Muncie a couple weekends ago. It was on a bunch of boost and I hit the scramble. But it did it again right there. It's whenever it's on a lot of boost.
We need to put an ignition box on it.
Yeah, need an ignition box.
Did it go any faster on CO2?
It was going faster until it popped. It was going, it went at 38, but it was only went 126 because it popped before the finish line. So it was probably on like a high 20. He just barely, he came creeping by me. It wasn't no
Billy
crazy.
was ahead the whole way.
It wasn't nothing crazy. I mean, he didn't have like more than 4 mile an hour on me, I'd say.
I was afraid it blew up when I saw that flame come out the driver's side.
I would have been too, but I know it did it at Muncie, and it sounds fine. Drove back fine.
It's time to put ignition on it.
It needs an ignition system.
You
you start cramming all that boost down, it just can't light it. And if it don't light it once, it comes back and fires it.
It's hard
Double
on
the amount of
everything.
fucking fuel and air. Double the amount of fuel.
Oil pressure's okay. It sounds all right.
It did the same thing it did at Muncie. Yeah. Dude, he just barely came
We
pretty
were right at the fucking, we were like, oh my God, he's got him covered, he's got him covered. And then literally went bop anyway.
And the thing is, I can feel it laying over, and then it pops. You know what I mean? Like, I know the ignition system is just, can't keep up. We just put the box that Kenny's car has on it.
Yeah, 75. Then you can actually tune it on a 75.
But honestly, it probably needs more than that. Because I think the 7531's rated at 195 millijoule. That one's rated 160 or 135. It probably needs more like 300, at least.
CDI box on it?
It could, but that motherfucker's $2,400. At that point, you might as well just put Holly in it and do all that. I'll figure something out. It needs something a little more.
Dude, you left, got underneath him, we're like, there it is. And it literally, right at the first stripe, it went bop, and he went right. I mean,
He was just creeping, and then it popped, and then it was done.
Yeah.
I think if it had an ignition system, I've been saying that forever. Just got so much going on.
Yeah, I've got a 7531 box at home that we took off Tommy's truck.
That'd be more. That'd be better.
7531 with a red coil. I mean that's what Chief's got in his car. He's running a red coil, so he's running 2,500 horsepower. So
Yeah.
I mean, if not more, on nitro at that.
He's got the red coil, but I think he's got the FT Spark box
I mean, the 7531 is going to be
with a bunch of capacitors wired to it.
Yeah.
Chief's got an 8 box. I just don't know I don't know what I need to program to pull timing for boost, because I looked into the 8 box before and I'm not sure how they pull timing for boost. I'll have to get it and see. It needs an 8 box really. Alright, so we're back at the shop. Didn't get a whole lot of time to go over round by round at the track. Once we got near the finals, it was getting kind of hectic and we were trying to make some changes and fix some things. First, tell them about your race with the GTR.
Well, I had a lot of people that wanted me to beat that GTR. I really wanted to beat the GTR.
I kind of set them up for failure, I'm gonna be honest,
No,
because
I
we
wouldn't
were
say
trying something new and we were trying not to run any weight in the car to get ready for next weekend, just to see what it would do, and it didn't like it. It didn't like it down track. Pacemakers is very slick up top. The rubber there is very old and it's never been scraped for like years and years and years and years, and it's become really hard. It's like trying to race on a really hard plastic, like a tricycle wheel. Like, you know how the tricycles got really hard flat, they just don't hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just, that's like the surface you're racing on.
I think a lot of people will agree, looking at my past. There's a lot of people that I mean, I've never even had to drive the car that much. I mean, it was so out of shape. I think 1 or 2 weight bars. Next time, do I regret what we did? No, because I'm glad we learned.
We learned what the car likes and what it doesn't. Because up till now, we haven't found anything that the car doesn't really like.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to kind of extend out and see what our boundaries are, because we haven't even been able to see what our boundaries are.
And it didn't need it for the 60 foot. It was beautiful through the 60 foot. It's just after the shift in high gear, it does not like not having weight in it at Pacemakers. Mm-hmm. And it may be okay without weight at national trails for No Prep Kings, but I think we're going to go out there with at least 1 weight bar in it for first round, and we'll take it out as needed. But
can I tell them what my numbers were?
Your ET
and everything.
I don't care.
It went 564 at 115. Okay, when it started spinning and driving all over the place, it was like I hit a brick wall. Like, I lost all my momentum because I gave it a quick pedal. I think I just had to with how upset it was.
The GTR just made a better pass. That's all there was to it.
I mean, I had a car and a half on him at 330 feet, but shortly after that, it just went downhill, and you can't make a mistake next to a car like that.
It was a fast car.
Those all-wheel drive GTRs can put that power in where I made my mistake. You know,
Yeah.
that's their advantage. But I'm not going to use it as an excuse. The guy driving that GTR was actually really cool. I got to talk to him.
Actually really unfortunate. On the way home, he was involved in an accident, hit by a drunk driver head on. Luckily, he's okay. I think his truck's totaled, and the trailer and the car inside the trailer are okay, but
Really
tough
cool
break
dude.
for him. He was really cool. He came up after he raced you, and he thought that I was you. So he was like, "Hey, good race, man." I'm like, that was my brother. He's probably filming somewhere.
So there wasn't even supposed to be all-wheel drive and small tire. It was actually a typo in the race rules, and that kind of was. There was a lot of controversy. Some people
were mad over it, but at a track like that, I really don't give a crap. Like, it is what it is. I'm happy for the action. I'm happy to see a different car thrown in the mix. Like, those cars are pretty freaking heavy as it is. So, like, there is a disadvantage there to having all that rotating weight to turn. But there's definitely is an advantage where he's got, 40 inches of rubber where we only have 20. So
I know people, I know it's a very controversial topic. I do not want people going on the comments saying I lost because it was an all-wheel drive car. I did not lose because that car.
no, we lost because we made a mistake.
I had that car beat, to be completely honest. But it didn't like not having weight up top, and yeah, that's what cost me the race when it comes down to it. I'm not going to use it as an excuse, but it is what it is.
We learned something.
Yeah, we learned something.
So, and then as the night went on, I can't remember the last time I did a round recap, but I beat Mike Batdorf, my buddy. He is one of the guys that owns Stripper Glitter Traction Compound. He's got that Camaro, and it was really flying the first 330 feet, and I wasn't sure I was going to catch him. He was out there on me, and we were sitting there. They were waiting to try to turn the lights on for the track, and they couldn't figure out how to turn them on for some reason, so we ended up racing in the dark. But anyways, we were sitting there waiting on him to try and turn the lights on, and he came up to the door of my truck, and I was like, "You're gonna jump, aren't you?" He's like, I'm like, "You're gonna guess it." He's like, "I'm gonna tree your ass." I was like, "Yeah, I know what you're gonna do." Him and Chris are like best buddies, and I know he's got Chris figured out for flagging.
Well, they've raced a lot. Wherever, that's all Stripper Glitter, so
Yeah.
wherever Chris is, they're going to race there. It's not like they were trying to...
I mean, there's a lot of people that got Chris figured out, but Mike definitely figures out Chris, and he guessed the light pretty much perfect on me.
Mm-hmm.
And
he actually jumped. We went back and watched it. It was pretty close.
On their camera, it probably would have been clean.
Probably, yeah. Just depends what frame rate you're looking at.
But yeah, I mean, he was out on me, and I was nervous. It went into high gear, and I started pulling on him, and I came around him. Luckily, got the win there. I came back though, and I had put more boost in it, and it didn't go any faster. And I was like, "There's something wrong. It feels flat in high gear." So I watched the GoPro clip back. I downloaded it to my phone because that's the only way I can see any kind of data from the run. And I saw that it was only making 20 pounds of boost, 21 at the most. And I was programming like 30 into the ramp. So it should have made a lot more power. And I'm like, why is this happening? Like, I'm grabbing the scramble and it's not doing nothing. I'm adding more dome pressure, but it's just not making any more power. So I figured out that the pressure from the onboard air system in the tank that I have in the bed, it's not keeping up with the amount of air I'm requiring to put on the wastegates. So it's like cycling down to 40 psi in the tank. Well, you're supposed to have about double the amount of boost you're gonna run. So like if I'm on 30 pounds of boost, I need like at least 60 pounds of pressure, 70 pounds of pressure. and it only had 40. So that was my issue. I threw a CO2 bottle in it. After the buy run, it still slowed down, and I was like, all right, there's definitely something wrong. So after the buy run, I threw a CO2 bottle in it out of the Falcon, and it made 28 pounds of boost, 27, 28 pounds of boost in the final. But the problem we ran into was the ignition system just couldn't keep up. It popped really bad at the finish line, and I think it blew the spark out, and then it must have loaded that cylinder up and then ignited it out the exhaust or something. It's definitely an ignition related issue, so I think we're going to go through the truck this week. Might put a big cap distributor on it, and probably try to put either a 7531 box that we have out of Tommy's truck in it, or I may try to get an MSD 8 box. I know I said that I was going to put a Haltech ignition system on it a while back, but I just really got busy with the Nova and never got a chance to do it. And it's going to be a little bit more intricate to do it like before the next No Prep Kings. It's going to take a little bit longer, so I think I'm just going to throw like a better MSD box in it that has a little bit more spark energy.
Time out.
For now.
Just so you guys know, before you go and say, Billy's taking more parts off Tommy's truck. I told him he should do it. So if he does take my ignition box off my truck.
Well, we're putting a Holly on your truck, so.
Right, like I won't even need it, so yeah.
And there's actually another ignition box there, another 7531 that's just locked up. And you just have to turn the power on for 24 hours on it and it unlocks, but I could use that too.
How'd
Either
you
way.
feel about the final with Hong?
So the final, it was kind of a crapshoot because I didn't know what it was going to do because I'd only had 20 pounds of boost all day, and I didn't know how much it was actually going to make. But it went down through there, and it was fast, and it was a great race right up until it popped. And you know, he was still pulling on me before it popped just a little bit. But to even be in the same ballpark as him and him not just completely 20-mile-an-hour me, like, that was enough for me to be like, all right, this truck deserves a chance. We need to do some upgrades to this thing because it's really a competitive truck. I just haven't put anything into it in the last 3 or 4 years. Like, I've put engines in it, you know, but I haven't really upgraded the ignition system. I haven't upgraded the carburetor. I mean, I've tried to upgrade the carburetor in the past, but we've had other issues and other negligence going on.
Dude,
you know,
I mean,
I'm still learning. Like, I really love this fuel injection stuff. I am not a carburetor guy whatsoever. That's all my dad's thing. But I still think that carburetor's got a lot left in it, to be honest. I think the ignition system has really been holding it back. So we're going to find out. No Prep Kings next weekend. I'll be running the truck. I'll have the Nova there. I'm going to try to get it on the dyno this week and get it aligned. But I'm not comfortable making my first passes in front of that crowd at No Prep Kings. I would rather just have it there on display and let you guys see it, and then like maybe make one test hit or something, you know, if they would let me, but I don't know, we'll see.
Also, I'll have the Dart there as well on display. It probably won't even run, but another car that people have been waiting to see. So
It should be close, damn.
yeah, I know.
Got all the lights working.
Yeah, Jeff's stuck on turn signals. He can't get the turn signals.
We
to
don't
work.
need the damn turn
I
signals.
know, that's what I keep telling him.
Wire up the damn ignition coil and the 6AL. It's like 6 wires. It'd be all right.
Yeah, it's whatever.
The ignition, freaking MSD box.
He's got the
coil.
whole dash to wire, every gauge. I mean, you got to have all those gauges.
Yeah, he's not like me where I made my Nova run and then I finished the wiring for another month after that.
Yeah.
I made it run first and then I went back and finished everything else. Yeah, me and Jeff do things a little different. That's okay. He's a smart guy. Sometimes I'm not so smart.
You just rush. But you
Well,
put
I'm
yourself in a
trying
position where you
not
gotta
to rush. I really am. I'm trying not to rush the Nova. Because
You haven't. Driving it over to Dad's is ballsy, but I think that was great. That got you a big step further, letting it learn itself. And
Yeah, it was a big step for me, just learning, and I'm learning every day. Like I keep watching more videos and opening the laptop and trying new things, and even just building boost in the garage and just trying to get it to build boost faster and faster, or just driving it around a little bit. You know, it's all a learning process, and it's a lot of fun. It's been really exciting for me because I never thought I could ever do it. So we may take the Nova to the dyno this week. May have a video of that. So, all right, guys. So thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys. We got some upgrades for the truck coming soon. We'll see you guys at No Prep Kings this week, and we'll have the Nova there hopefully with the front end on it. Hopefully, should look really badass. It's coming along great. Jeremy's been doing a great job on the front end. They might have the Dart there. We'll have a Falcon there. The whole fleet. We got like 5 running race cars.
Malibu, the C10.
We got like 7.
Probably Kenny's Camaro.
We got like 8 running race cars.
And only like 3 drivers.
It's crazy.
You can hire some race car drivers. Something.
Thank you guys. We'll see you at No Prep Kings.
Yep, we'll
National
see you.
Trail Raceway.